I feel a little bit odd here right now because I've got a full face on, but I took my eye makeup off, so my full face might look a little bit wonky. But this is the second video I've recorded today, and the first one had to be my palette roulette, in which I had to use those shadows on my eyes, so I had to take off my eye makeup to do this video, but I wanted to like really preserve the base makeup, so I hope I've preserved it well. We will see. We'll probably do some touch-ups at the end of the day.
Hi guys, hi, hello, how's it going today? I do hope that today finds you well. Today I am actually doing a collab with my friend Anna. Anna is amazing. I met her a couple years ago now. I think it's been a couple years, maybe even 3 years, which seems crazy to me, but I'm gonna put her picture up here for you. She has a channel here on the platform, and it is an amazing channel. She does a lot of get ready with me's and a lot of vlogs, and these aren't typically videos that I like find myself watching. I like a lot of the makeup chit chat, a lot of the chattery videos. She does chatter a lot during her get ready with me's though, and I think that, you know, we initially established a relationship through a group that we like helped like find, I guess, through the YouTube community of small creators. She is somebody who I watch every single video that she puts out because I just love her so much, to the extent that one day I will go to New Orleans and visit her because A, it's on my bucket list, and B, I just love her. I just love her so much. So normally I'm doing collabs during this time of year anyways, because it's normally, you know, vlogmas for me. And this year I kind of tapped out of vlogmas. I said I'm not doing it this year because I just have too much going on in my life to really also stress out about having to have a video up every single day in December. It's something I enjoy doing, but it just wasn't in the cards this year. So typically I am doing, my eye is driving me nuts. So when she hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to do a collab? I was like, sure, yeah, let's do it. My only collab of the season this year. She wanted to do a Christmas palette collab. I asked her what that looked like for her. She said, pick your, you know, palette that reminds you of Christmas. And I said, is this a get ready with me, or what kind of video are we talking? Are we talking like chatty video? And she said, yeah, it can be a get ready with me. And I was like, oh, devastation. Because I don't do get ready with me's very often, and when I do them, I certainly don't do them well. So here we are, Christmas collaboration with my pal Anna, and we are doing a collab, doing a get ready with me, utilizing a palette that reminds you of Christmas. And funny story, the first palette that came to mind was the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. In addition to that was the Natasha Denona Gold palette, but I thought Too Faced Chocolate Gold, that was the very first palette that came to my mind. When I talked to her about the palette that I thought I was going to use, she also said the Too Faced Chocolate Gold was the one that came to mind. So I think this will be interesting to come up with what we come up with and find different looks within this palette that really scream holiday. So I'm gonna try and go like everyday holiday, but with that said, this palette only has 4 mattes, so there isn't a whole lot of area you can go into. What she wanted us to talk about is just about anything, but I'm gonna talk to you about the holiday in and of itself. That's, you know, the holiday that we celebrate as a family, and I would love to take you along for that crazy ride. So here we go. Preserved the full face. Hopefully it lasts throughout this whole time frame, and I think it's good that I'm using this palette too, because it's one of those palettes that's in my collection that I just don't know. I just don't use. So it'll be interesting to see how it all turns out. I'm no good at this. Let's preface this video with that statement. No good at this. So let's roll into this Christmas get ready with me. All right, guys, the first thing I am doing is utilizing the Urban Decay primer potion. I do have it in the original. I really do think that I am just a tad bit sensitive to this eye primer. It bothers my eyes, and I don't really know why. Everybody else loves it, but it's not ever been one of my favorites, but it is part of my Shop My Stash, and I thought I would just use it because it is part of my Shop My Stash. But within the first couple weeks of using it, I was like, ooh, why? Why is this burning? Why is my eye burning? And then I try a different primer and my eye doesn't burn like it does with this primer. So, but my eyes are super sensitive anyways, so there's that. Let's talk about the holiday season. I work in retail, so the holiday season is just what it is, you know. We don't always spend the holiday on the holiday. In my household, we never really have, because it's hard to do that when you work in retail. As a kid, my dad was a mechanic and my mom was like a daycare worker, and then she had her own daycare, and then she was a realtor. So we did have, you know, them home for the holidays, and we were really poor, you know, when I was growing up. My parents are pretty well off now, but we were pretty not awesome when I was a kid. I come from not money. My parents always tried to make sure that we had a really great Christmas as a kid. And I think as a parent, you do that, right? You try and make sure your kids had it better than you, for sure. I remember when I was younger, you know, we would go yard selling all the time as a family, and my parents still really do that. My sister owns a shop called Josephine's, and then she has another one called Revival. And Josephine's is about, you know, people finding, you know, repurposing things that they maybe would have thrown away or somebody else did throw away. And with that said, like, I liken that whole section of my sister, my mom, my dad as pickers. Like, they go to yard sales, they pick, and they try and find something that they can sell in their booth at my sister's shop. I forgot how much this palette smells like chocolate. They have this booth at my sister's shop that they sell like their repurposed stuff in, right? And so as a kid, we did yard sales. It's not ever something that my parents ever stopped doing. I will never forget the year I stopped believing in Santa Claus because my parents took us to the yard sales in the summer, and my sister and I came across these like 10-speed bikes. And just a reminder, we weren't like well off, right? So we couldn't have afforded 10 speeds, like real life 10 speeds. They were pretty, they were green, and one was yellow, and like my favorite color was purple and my sister's was pink, so they didn't really go with the color schemes that we loved, but they were 10-speed bikes. And I remember my sister and I kind of oohing and ahhing over them, and I remember my parents going, those are too expensive, we can't get those, you know, let's move on. That Christmas, they were our Santa gifts. And that's when I stopped believing in Santa. I always thought that my parents were amazing for just how much they tried to make sure that we had the most appropriate like Christmas and got what we wanted and what we needed, you know, from our Christmas. And when I say that those were our Santa gifts, those were, my parents created the tradition in our family that when we woke up on Christmas morning, there would be an unwrapped present sitting in front of the tree, and that was our gift from Santa. Everything wrapped was from them. Santa would bring like some of the stuff that went into our stockings, and he would bring the biggest, baddest gift on the planet. I always thought that that was very strange that parents allowed Santa Claus to be the hero in the kids' life. I continued on that tradition with my kids. I mean, my 10-year-old recently stopped believing in Santa, and I think that the only reason why she stopped believing in Santa was because we were talking about the skateboard that we had purchased for her for Christmas the year prior, and I had forgotten that was the gift that Santa had given her. And she goes, I knew it. I knew that there was no such thing as Santa. So, like, whereas I could feel bad, I guess I don't feel bad because she kind of had it in her thought process that there was no such thing as Santa anyway. This palette reminds me of Christmas because of all of the shimmer shadows in it. I mean, it really just is a shimmery shadow palette This green is also a shimmer. Way back in the day when this came out, this was the shit when it came to shimmers. It was the palette to have if you wanted shimmers. These Too Faced shimmers were amazing. And as I'm putting them on, it's funny, I just don't really think that they're all that amazing anymore. How crazy is that? Isn't it funny how things just continue to get better and better and better, and as they do, you start to rethink everything in your life? So as a kid, that's what my Christmases look like. When I would go to my grandparents' house, though, there were so many of us, right? My dad had 3 siblings, and each of those siblings had a spouse. And then there was also other children. But when I was a kid, there wasn't very many other children. It was me and my brother and my sister and our cousin Steven. And those were the only kids. You know, my other aunt had children as well. But my cousins from her are the same age as my kids. So they're, you know, they had children pretty late in life. So I remember being so spoiled by my grandparents, so spoiled. So my grandparents would buy us all kinds of gifts, and you know, they weren't well off either, but I do think that they probably went to the dollar store or something, some equivalent back in the day, to make sure that when we walked into the house, like the tree was sitting in a corner and the gifts underneath the tree went to halfway out into the living room. Like, it was immense how many presents were under this tree. And then our stockings were taller than I was. And as a kid, I think I had reached my peak of height at like 11 years old. We always had like a ton of stuff. And I will never, ever forget Christmas at my grandparents' house because it was just so chaotic. And that gold is actually really damn good, to be honest, but I'm just not a gold fan. But wow, holy hell. But to be honest, it was really quite chaotic, but amazing. But also my aunt, I will never forget. And we have so many home movies of my aunt screaming at us as children, read the tags. Because, you know, we were young and we would be like opening these gifts. We were so excited. Nobody would ever read the tags. And she'd get so pissed off because we didn't know who our gifts were from. Well, eventually we would know because the adult would tell us, you know, don't make it so freaking crazy. Read the tags. That actually became a family joke, and that was the best family joke ever. So as an adult, I have tried to build into my kids' life the same traditions that I had as a child. So the biggest present under the tree, or not the biggest, maybe the biggest. It might be, for me, it's maybe the biggest present, but maybe not the most expensive present, just because it was easier to not wrap the biggest present, if I'm honest. For me, everything that we learned as children, that same thought process around the holidays was what I did with my kids as well. These days, like I said, my youngest now doesn't believe in Santa anymore, so I don't have to pretend anymore, but I'm really excited about the stuff that I got for my kids this year. And we've moved more towards purchasing one really awesome gift for them and then not so many little tiny gifts, because they just get lost in their mess of a bedroom or whatever. Like, what do you want for Christmas? Cool beans, I'll buy that, versus I'm gonna guess at 100 presents under the tree. I also have 6 kids, so I also kind of for a long time moved with the thought process throughout Christmas of I need to spend the same amount of money on this one as that one, or I need to buy the same amount of gifts. There needs to be the same amount of gifts under the tree for each of the kids. And the truth is once they get to a certain age, like their gifts start costing more. And if you have like one gift that costs you like $400 for one of the kids, but you have another kid that has $400 worth of gifts in 15 gifts, like that has to be okay with you. And for me, like I would just stress out about it so much. It was holidays. Christmas has never been a time of year that I have loved. I don't know that this is really a Christmas look, if I'm honest, but it's got the green and the gold, and this gold is actually quite wonderful. It's quite lovely. I actually really kind of like the green as well, but this gold is really more yellow than it is gold. I'm just not sure. Also, this is another reason why I quit using this palette. I'm just not sure that the mattes that are in this palette perfectly complement the colors in this palette. What are your guys's traditions for Christmas? I would be really interested to know, because everybody has traditions from Christmas and where they came from and how these traditions still live in your whole little family is such an interesting factor to me. I know that, you know, JD also, my husband, has, or husband, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure what his Christmas traditions ever were, but these days too, another tradition that we have is buying each one of the kids, including the adult children, a new ornament every year, right? So that, and I think I've discussed this, like I'm having deja vu right now. I think I've discussed this in a video before. So that by the time they leave the house, they have, you know, 18, or actually they have 36, because my parents do it as well, ornaments that they can use on their own tree at home when they move out, which I think is an amazing thing to do. Let's try some silver. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this silver. This is insane. This eye look is awful. Yeah, this isn't gonna be the best eye look, but it's definitely Christmas colors for sure. Oh my goodness. So I can't remember where it was, but I'm not sure what his Christmas traditions are. I just know that he kind of adopted mine. I feel kind of bad for him, because like I would really love to know what his Christmas traditions were as well. Maybe we could, you know, kind of make them happen together. But now, like, our youngest is 10, so at this point it's a little bit arbitrary, to be honest. I'm interested to find out where Anna took the direction for this video. I'm usually very like, this is how it needs to go. This is what I want, you know, to be talked about. And Anna is more aloof and just a little more like fly by the seat of her pants kind of person. I think she's actually probably a closet anal retentive like I am, but she does a lot of organization videos, which makes me believe that she's a closeted anal retentive person, but she seems pretty aloof, to be honest. She seems very, just so calm. It makes me want to meet her more, because like, I just don't, I don't understand how a person can be so calm all the time. My dad is like that a lot. He's very ho-de-do, whereas like I'm a little more, holy crap, we need to move now kind of mindset. All right, what do we think about this eye look so far? I think that this is very green and gold, much like Christmas, but it also reminds me of my junior high. Shout out to my junior high colors of green and gold, because that's what I got going on here. I'm gonna go put on some lashes and some liner. Not lashes. Why did I even say lashes? I don't wear lashes. I'm gonna go put on some liner and some mascara, and I will be right back. All right, here we are. The final eye look using the palette that reminds me most of Christmas. Again, this palette reminds me of Christmas just because of the sheer shimmer factor in here. There are so many shimmers in here. The only mattes are these 4 right here. The rest of them are shimmer shades, and they do have that brilliant green, that wonderful gold. Those two are the colors that I used in my eye look today. This pink is a beautiful one. The silver, holy cow, it is on my inner corner. Like, you can get a really beautiful Christmas eye look out of this palette. I think the only thing it's really missing is red, but I think it reminds me most of Christmas because of the sheer shimmer factor of it. I really hate this eye look, if I'm honest. I really hate it. And I think it's because the gold is more yellow than it is anything else. And I tried to pair it with that green, which probably was a bad idea. It might have looked better if I had taken the like dark brown and it built up in the outer corner and then did like a green to gold gradient. I do love the silver though. The silver is so, so pretty. And I forgot how like in your face this silver was. With that said, what palette reminds you of Christmas? I would be interested to hear your thoughts and opinions. I have like a lot in my collection, if I'm honest, that remind me of Christmas, but this one was just the first one that came to mind, and it really was Kismet, because that is the palette that Anna also thought of when she thought Christmas. So, oh, just before I forget, you guys know what I used on my eyes, but I used on my face my Natasha Denona X Plus foundation. I am in the shade 40N. I used the Trustique Color and Contour Cheek Stick. This is in Brazilian Bronze. I don't 100% love this, but I also don't hate it. I also have the NARS Laguna Bronzer on. I have the KVD Everlasting Blush in Rosebud. This is in my Shop My Stash, and I love it. I am wearing the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, the Glow Powder. Funny story, when I brought this into my Shop My Stash, I was like, Anna says this is a highlighter. I just don't see how this is a highlighter. Yeah, it's a highlighter. It's a really great highlighter. Anna was not wrong. So I'm also using the Stroke of Light Eye Brightener by Bare Minerals. And on my lips today, I have the Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in Gislon. I also have the Becca Glow Gloss in Foxglove. I am also using the Lipstick Queen Topper in Meteor Shower. So that is what is on my lips today. I am using the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes mascara as a mascara on my lashes, which would be an amazing mascara if it weren't for the eyeliner that I'm using, which is the Huda Beauty Life Liner. I hate this, y'all. I hate this liner so, so much. The biggest reason why is because it goes on really smoothly. It really does. But it's like tar in your lashes if you get it on your lashes at all. I have had to comb out my lashes every single time I try and put a mascara on, and I didn't this time. So all of my lashes are all like clumped together because this creates tar in your lashes. Like, I don't know what the makeup of this product is, but it doesn't go anywhere. That much I will give you, but it's tar. If you celebrate Christmas, what palette reminds you most of Christmas? I would also love to hear some of your guys' traditions down in the comments section. Feed me all your family traditions. I think they're all just so interesting and so lovely to like just pinpoint the moment in time that your parents really wrapped their arms around their family traditions and how they were going to go about them to make everything the way it was for you as a child. Like, I just think that, you know, and as a parent of 6, like, maybe that's where the like warm fuzzy feelings come from, family traditions. But there's that. I love hearing about everybody's traditions. So here is the eye look. You'll have to tell me what you think of it, because I have to be honest, I'm not a fan of this color story. I could have picked a better color story. I just don't like it at all, to be honest. That gold just being more yellow than it is gold, I think kind of threw me off. And I don't really like gold to begin with, so why I chose gold, I don't know. I think it has something to do with the fact that gold reminds me of Christmas. But man, I love that silver. for sure. Love that silver. So that is it. That is all I have for you today. Please go check out Anna. If you don't know Anna, she is amazing and you won't regret it. I am a firm believer. You will not regret it. So, and I would love to see her in your timeline right next to me. And if you're here from Anna's channel, welcome. Hi, hello. I'm so happy to have you here. If you don't know me already, I hope that you'll want to subscribe before you go, because I just will hope that you want to subscribe before you go. This is not my typical, like, I have to be honest, I feel a little out of sorts today. And I think that a lot of it comes from recording a video, taking off my eye makeup, and now putting on new eye makeup. Like, my eyeballs hurt. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I do hope that you enjoyed it. Sorry about the kind of like chaotic nature of today's video. It is what it is. Some days we have those days. This is real life, people. It is real life. So I say that all the time, but it's true. It's the true tea. With that being said, I do hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I hope that you are having an amazing December. I hope that if you do celebrate Christmas, that you are good to go, that all of your holiday happenings are happening and that they're being pulled off seamlessly, and that you're living stress-free right now. I know for me, for myself, I'm like a stress nugget around the holidays. So I do hope for you that that is the opposite. Thank you guys so much for coming today. I do hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that you enjoyed it enough that you'll want to subscribe. I hope that 2021 is treating you all kindly. I hope that you and yours are safe and healthy and well, and that you're getting along in this world as best you can. And I hope that you're loving each other, but loving each other from afar. And until next time, bye friends.